City of Sarah, clips.
Hey, Big Lurch, what's good?
What it do, what it do?
So, for the people, that know about you, where are you at right now at the moment?
Well, right now I'm at New Folsom State Prison in Sacramento, you know what I mean, on some Johnny Cash type shit, walking the line, dog.
Right. How you holding up in there?
I mean, I just got out the hole, man. I had a little altercation with the police, man, behind a biography I did called Drugs Made Me Do It. I didn't even know that was going to be the name, but, they put it out on some Hollywood shit, and I'm a real-life human, so the guards hit the building fucking with me. Drugs made me do it. Ooh, I smoke Sherm. And the next thing you know, it was out of hand, and I had a staff assault, and I was in the hole, and, but God is good, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing well. You have a lot of fans out there, but some of the younger fans may not know your musical history. Why don't you fill everyone in terms of what you did music-wise before you got locked up?
Well, you know what I misdemeanor. I've been in the game my whole life. I was an underground Dallas rapper before I ever came to California and got in the game in the Bay Area. You know what I misdemeanor. I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised, but I've been back and forth to the Bay my whole life. My pop stayed in Vallejo, my mom stayed in Dallas. So, I come out here, I get put on, my boy Mac Mall, my big bro, you know what I'm saying, introduced me to Mike Mosley. We got on, you know what I misdemeanor. He say, man, we gonna do 2 songs, and if they hot, then you rolling with me. And man, both the songs is legendary, and Mike Mosley can't do no wrong in my eyes. Mac Mall can't do no wrong in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? And God bless my bros, man.
Out in the free world, smoking PCP or fry or wet was still mostly an underground phenomenon. On April 10, 2002, less than a month after Pharaoh's PCP-induced crime, the drug was thrust into the national spotlight when 6 feet 7 inches, Antron Big Lurch Singleton walked through South Central Los Angeles in broad daylight, completely naked, staring at the sky and barking like a dog. His hands, face, chest, and neck were covered in blood. Big Lurch was a Dallas-born rapper, best known for his record Texas Boy, on which he rapped about getting high off of formaldehyde. In a nearby apartment, police discovered a gruesome scene containing the bloody, disfigured body of 21-year-old Tynesha Issace. She'd been a mother of 2 with a wide, vibrant smile and dimples. Issace was the girlfriend of Lurch's roommate, Thomas Moore, who admitted he'd smoked PCP with Lurch the night before. Big Lurch had apparently broken her neck and jaw, fractured one of her eye sockets, hacked her open with a 3-inch paring knife, removed her right lung, and chewed on her intestines. Lurch was arrested and taken to a psych ward, where a medical examination found blood and flesh that didn't belong to him in his stomach. During the televised interview from jail, a visibly disheveled Big Lurch told interviewer Geraldo Rivera he had no recollection of the murder. All I can remember is that the world was finna end, and I had to find the devil and kill the devil before the world ended. That's the last thought I had, Lurch said. The next thing I remember is waking up in a room by myself. Any kids out there that's using PCP, I would say, please, I would beg them to stop before something that they can't control happens, Big Lurch concluded. Lurch's catalog included collaborations with jive rappers Too Short, E40, and Mystical, and the subsequent media frenzy focused on the bizarre crime's connection to hip-hop. I don't think this fits anyone's rap persona, hip-hop activist Davey D, who had worked with Lurch, told BET.com. PCP is capable of taking anyone out of their mind. This is bigger than hip-hop.
In 2000, while heading back to Texas for his grandmother's funeral, One day after his birthday, Big Lurch ended up in a bad car accident after a drunk driver hit him head on, and he ended up with a broken neck. After almost dying and being in a coma, he had a hard time dealing with the pain, and he was still hurting even though they gave him morphine, but he had severe nerve and spinal damage though. I mean, the pain was so bad, he said sometimes it would just knock him to the ground when it hit him. And when he was released from the hospital, he ran out of his morphine prescription, and by this time he was addicted to it. That's when he tried the drug PCP to help ease the pain, just to feel numb.
Well, currently, I'm at Salinas Valley State Prison, California, which is actually New Soledad. So the BGF and everything started at Soledad. George Jackson, Soledad brother. Rest in peace, OG. Thank you for the vision. I'm currently in mental health, so I had to learn about, being bipolar, because brothers, they self-medicate with street drugs, and our community has been flooded with street drugs like PCP and methamphetamine that induce mental illness and put spirits in us that nature take its course, and the nature of its drugs is murder and sex. And, meanwhile, the slave master sits back and says, they monsters. You know what I mean?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So now that I've enlightened myself about mental health and these drugs, now I'm ready to rap. Now I'm ready to rap about it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is that, when you first started indulging in PCP, you were doing that to self-medicate some pain you were going through from an accident. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Well, PCP is a dissociative anesthesia, actually. It's an anesthesia, but it also causes psychosis. But we don't know that in the ghetto. We're going to make an excuse. Oh, whoever flipped out on it was weak-minded, or he was already like that, because we be freestyling and just inventing shit, us
Right.
blacks. Whereas the whites know the science, they invented the drugs. So I broke my neck in a car accident, you know what I'm saying, at my grandmother's funeral. And, I was in pain. They let me out of the hospital. I woke up. I didn't choose to do heroin, a.k.a. morphine. You wake up and you got the needles in you when you push the button. So I had developed an addiction. I was in a coma for months with the morphine. And then when they let me out of the hospital, my insurance wasn't covering all that. So, they just cold turkey the pain pill, pain anesthesias. And just now I'm having a withdrawal and pain. And one of my, homies is like, man, I'm in the wheelchair. I can't walk. Like, man, get up. That ain't Lurch. You depressed. You want to kill yourself. What? Nigga, hit this. And so began hell.
And that was the genesis of that. It's a number of things, man, with that case that just kind of had me wondering, because I really familiarized myself with it. And one of the things I was thinking, man, it's like it didn't make no sense. They said you told everybody to leave except for the girl, but her boyfriend was there too. Usually, if somebody was a couple, I bounce. My woman coming with me. It just didn't make no sense
already.
So can we elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, in the reality of the issue, by the time that is, I wasn't smoking sure. I had just got out of jail in Dallas County, like 2 months prior to that. So my whole system was clean. So I'm dicking it with the homies on the fig. They smoke some lovelies with me. Now, once you high and you under the influence, somebody pass it to you, you're going to keep hitting. So in actuality, I end up getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? I'm the off-brand from Texas or whatever they wanted to make it appear. But in reality, I'm baby Paddlefoot. But at the time, this cat ain't knowing who my family is in L.A. So, they robbed me. I don't even remember the day. All I remember is we went to the Hoodie Awards and shit, which was a few days before. So they kept me under and then was robbing me, you know what I'm saying, cleaning me out, took my car, my wallet, went to the mall, and they also said, it's in my trial transcripts, the dude, Thomas Moore, Baby Peabody, or whatever they want to call him, that I told them to go to the mall to buy us all some Jordans. I ain't never let you use my car, and I damn sure ain't gave you all my money and told you to go to get the mall and get no Jordans. But that's his story. And since I'm the biggest name, the rapper or aspiring rapper, as the whites, or my bad, the powers that be like to label us.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm a rapper or a mayhem rapper, but I'm not a rapper. I'm a writer. I write film, books, movies. Rap is Laffy Taffy. I'm just a writer. But you know what I'm saying? All these labels that box us in, that enables people to think whatever they want to make them think. That's what the label do. So, I pretty much was robbed. He had her under the influence too. So I learned after the trial transcripts, they found enough drugs in her to, so he was actually experienced prison baby. So now that I'm in prison, I understand, because the big brother master, they in here drugging people with psych meds and everything. So a lot of the cats in California prison is learning how to control people with drugs by what happens to them.
And
I know it works. They did it to me.
What these
They
dudes
did it to
that
me,
you
like, you know what I mean?
right? Were these dudes that you considered that was supposed to be homies, or just some niggas you was kicking it with? Because you know how this shit happens around neighborhood shit. The wet sticks,
So
was always like one of the drugs of choice in the neighborhood for some, and so I'm just saying, what did they introduce you to it, and they just kept you hooked on it? Like, here, just let's keep getting high. What was the outcome?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Well, I'm from Dallas, Texas, so wet is a big thing down there, but I was an athlete. But all my homies in the hood used to use it. By the way, I'm from a blood hood, East Dallas, but I didn't gangbang. I was an athlete. I wrote. It's a difference.
Right.
Like I said, labels. There's a pimp. There's a hustler. They're going to get a hustler from a blood or crib hood life, but he not the gangbanging hunter getting in the car shooting up people.
Right.
We all from the hood.
Exactly.
But that don't mean you gangbang. So anyway, I didn't smoke CERN. The first time I started trying it is when I broke my neck. I got out of jail. I got to L.A. Now, I always been in and out of L.A. in the Bay Area. My father's from the Bay. North Richmond. We lived in Vallejo. So, I got family in LA. So I go to LA to work on my album, and I'm a blood. So I hung with the Bloods because I didn't feel safe. I'm rapping and I had broke my neck. I'm still not that strong. So I used the homies from Lanes because that's who I fuck with.
Right.
My big homie, Ray Dog, Raymond Dupree, to be my Usalama. You know what I'm saying? And he had keys in the hood. While I'm going to Hollywood and doing shows, clubs and, networking, to get people on my albums. I got my homie, he professional, he been to prison, Usalama in me. So while he Usalama in me, we go through the hood and he smokes CERN, So we go through the hood and I'm in the house, he doing his thing. I stay at the house on the 6th and I come outside, I'm like, where Radar? And he just smoked. Right in front of me. Somebody standing over him, just lighting his ass up. He introduced me to CKT, a.k.a. Baby Peabody, Thomas Moore. So now I'm hanging on to Radar through T. You understand what I'm saying? So, but Radar ain't T. And then Radar was my Usalama, and he had a pure heart. He was a good brother. You know what I'm saying? So when Raymond Dupree got killed, Radar, I'm holding on to him through T, and now I'm taking T through Hollywood and the studios. I'm working on It's All Bad, the album, which wasn't the name. The label gave it that name.
Right.
I was going to name the album The Puppet Master, but they exploited my conviction for the sales and used my conviction to sell the album. Now that I'm with T and I'm taking them around Hoodie Awards and everything, well, the hood on the fig is a hoe stroll. So basically, I guess he trying to pimp baby girl. Now, all the homegirls and everything coming around, I roll hard. I'm a clean ass, fly ass nigga. I ain't no tennis suit pimp. Gators on my feet, eating gators meat, you know what I'm saying? Gators on my feet, eating up the concrete, you know what I'm saying? Italian suits. I'm doing my damn thing. So the homegirls start choosing. Well, niggas is out the pen. They trying to be pimps, but they really prison babies. They ain't built like that, this particular nigga. So he getting jealous because his girl literally telling him, I want to fuck with your homeboy. Oh, he ain't a day one anyway. He from Texas. He got the little ego. So they like, man, I don't want to fuck with Larry. He take care of his. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you can't pay the rent. So pretty much jealousy happened. But in my mind, I'm rapping. I'm thinking, like Tupac said in the interview I viewed, he said he thought that the homies and the blacks would be proud of him. You know? So I got this delusion in my head that nothing's going to happen to me because everybody's proud of me. I'm from the ghetto and I'm making it. But jealousy and envy, see, made Cain kill Abel. So this girl, you know, Lord bless her soul, but, you know, she literally told him that she wanted to fuck with me. And then the jealousy happened. But in my mind, man, I'm the homie and I'm putting the homies on. Come on. They should be, you know, they proud of me. So I keep hanging. If I could go back now, I would have separated myself from that equation. But I'm like, man, I'm coming through, taking cats to the studio, showing them that we can make it as black people. You know what I'm saying? And that it's a fact, you know, that we're doing this. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, all the homie want to do, though, when we go to the club and shit, he started smoking sherm. So eventually, I'm hanging with this. I started hitting it, too. You know, I made a choice. I started hitting it, too.
And we all make choices.
And then he seen I couldn't handle it. He seen I couldn't handle it. And then the ride began.